What is up, guys? NYKF31 here, bringing you a Madden 17 Ultimate Team gameplay video, and we're going to talk about the first little trickle of news we've gotten regarding Madden 18. With the Madden Championship concluding this weekend, all attention will be on Madden 18 and what releases as far as that goes. And we know how the cycle works by now. It comes out in drips and drabs. The game is not coming out for another 3 months. So news will be leaked out incrementally in drips and drabs, and it'll gradually build up in momentum as we get closer to August, as it usually does. If you haven't figured out the cycle by now, I don't know when you will. So, anyhow, we don't have a whole heck of a lot to go off of outside of what was posted on the Operation Sports' posting of the EA announcement, except for some bullets. But we can speculate. We know the game's going to be on Frostbite, and we can at least look to FIFA in order to get an idea as to what that could mean for the game as far as visuals and player movement is concerned. I'm not a techie, so I can't really speak to the engine's strengths and weaknesses. I'm not a programmer. I'm not a tech guy. That's just not my thing. I'll leave that to the guys who are well versed in that to discuss. But from what I've seen from FIFA, going from FIFA 16 to 17, it's done some pretty good things as far as how that game flows and moves and overall plays. So we'll just see how that translates going on to Madden. Play now live, don't care, play their best real world NFL matchups each week. That sounds like some variation of play the moment, or what NBA 2K has as far as being able to follow the real life NBA schedule and play out various scenarios. NBA Live has that as well. NBA Live Rewind. That sounds something along those lines. That could be interesting if that's your cup of tea. Target passing. I like the passing mechanics in this game, with the exception of the pump fake. I don't like how the pump fake is no longer a mechanic where I can target a specific receiver to try to pump fake too. Target passing, to me, that sounds like the ability to throw the ball to a specific spot outside of just merely high point passing, low point passing, touch passing. That sounds to me like a little bit more of a total control passing type of mechanism. That would be nice. If you guys have seen my videos on throwing back shoulder fades, you really can't do one. The way you have to do it isn't really a true back shoulder throw, but it's the closest way to get it done with what we have to work with. If I can, say, deliberately underthrow a ball to a receiver's outside shoulder, where if he can't make a play on it, the ball's going out of bounds, that would do a world of good. The ball in general just touches too many hands too often in this game. More balls need to either end up in the turf or out of the field of play if they don't end up to their intended receiver. Play styles, arcade, simulation, competitive. I've never been a big fan of this concept. I need to know more about what this means. My school of thought has always been, if you have mechanics in the game that are broken, that kind of stuff doesn't matter. You have to fix the mechanics in the game that are broken before you can even begin to entertain compartmentalizing game modes with different tuner and slider settings, because that would just compound issues in the game more, in my opinion. I also need to know what game modes these settings apply to. I don't want to have a situation where someone is forced to play either offline CFM or in an online league to have a goon-free experience. What does simulation and competitive settings mean? Does it mean that in competitive settings that player movement and user skills are more liberal? Do competitive settings mean that you're allowed to get away with things that don't, make sound football sense? Is it a combination of the two? What does it mean? Need to know more about that. Covered assignments. As we all know, maybe people don't know. I don't think a lot of people do know this, actually, but Reason why the ability to assign coverage assignments in man coverage to um, specific receivers is that it screwed up the defensive alignments. Like, for example, if you decided to assign your strong safety to play man-to-man coverage, what would happen is that if you came out and say man-to, man-under, your strong safety would line up where one of your outside linebackers would be, usually the strong side outside linebacker, and a strong side outside linebacker would line up at safety, which is not really what you want. Also, if you matched up your 1, 2, and 3 corners with the corresponding 1, 2, and 3 receivers on the other team, if your opponent either flipped the formation or audible to a new set, your entire defense would flip as well. Your DBs would run across the field and flip sides. And your opponent would just be able to snap the ball while your corners are running around all over the place, and there'll be wide open guys all over the place. So they couldn't figure out a way to fix that. So until they did figure out a way to fix it, they took it out of the game. I can only assume that they solved the problem, so back they are. Coach adjustments. This sounds like NCAA football to me. In NCAA football, you had a pretty wide range of control over how you wanted your team to play. You could set how you wanted your zone depths to play. You could set how aggressively you wanted your defenders to go after the ball or play the receivers. You could set how aggressively you wanted your defensive linemen to anticipate the snap count, things like that. And there were trade-offs to it. Like if you set your defensive line to aggressive, they'd fire off the ball more aggressively if the snap count was never changing, but they were more prone to jumping off sides on a hard count, stuff like that. So we'll just have to wait on it, I guess. And that really that really closes the book on Madden 17. After this weekend, Madden 17 is all done, event-wise. And if you want to be happy and excited about the early news, be happy and excited. If that's how you feel, nothing wrong with that. So, anyhow, that's pretty much it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you all later. Peace.